Hello. I'm in bed. You can probably see that. And I wanted just to do a quick video because I've just been hit by the harsh reality of a couple of conditions that I have to put up with and have done for a few years, and they've not affected me for ages now, a couple of months, which is ages for me. And today I've been affected by it, and it's hit me like a ton of bricks, and it ended up in me having to come to bed and rest because I'm knackered. They absolutely wipe me out. Lots of different effects happen when I'm affected by them. So, without being too graphic, they're gynecological problems, and one of them is called pelvic congestion syndrome. That's not really my biggest issue. That does cause me pain, but the one that causes me the most issue, I think, currently, it differs and depends each time it affects me, but this one is called adenomyosis, and it's related to endometriosis, and it's basically well, the easiest way to describe it, it's basically endometriosis of the uterus itself. So I suffer every now and again, not all the time, but with bad pain and cramps and quite a bad temperament sometimes. I get fatigue, brain fog, loads of different things. But today is the first day of my period, and I didn't think anything of it. I've had periods in the past where they're just periods and that's fine, you get on with it and it's not a problem. But this one has knocked me for six. And it's just like I'd forgotten how horrible this condition can be. It makes your periods worse, if you like. It makes them extremely painful. It makes me really tired. I mean, and when I say painful, I don't just mean I've got cramps. I know what a normal period feels like, and sometimes I'm affected worse times than others. But I mean, this is it's just ridiculous. Anyway. So yeah, it kind of just reminded me of why I do what I do and how I do it. So I'm employed part-time. Part of the reason of being employed part-time, I had two reasons. One, because I've got small children. I've got an 11-year-old and an 8-year-old, and I wanted to be able to be about for them as much as I could as well. But the other reason was because I hadn't actually been employed for probably 3 or 4 years before the current employment that I've got now, and that's because I suffered a lot with my endometriosis, pelvic congestion syndrome and adenomyosis. So it was a really big thing for me to go back into employment because I was scared and worried about the fact that I potentially might be letting them down or might need time off, or I hate having to call in to say that I'm ill or whatever. And I've only had to do that a couple of times with the employment that I'm with now, and they've been absolutely incredibly supportive about the conditions I've got, and have never sort of chastised me for it, or they've been really understanding, which has been incredible. So it was a really big thing to go back into employment and do that. But it worked out fine. It's working out absolutely fine. But the bugger of it all is I've had 2 weeks off because it's been the school holidays, and I've been absolutely fine. I haven't had any pain the whole holidays, haven't had any pain not any proper pain anyway, like this, for like months and months and months and months, like June, it's now September. But I'm going back to work for the first time tomorrow after having 2 weeks off, and I just feel like, oh my God, what a time to be struck by this ridiculous condition. So the other reason I wanted to make this video as well is for two reasons. Just like, I don't know, to let people know that you can have these conditions and it's okay just to give yourself the time to rest because you need it. Well, I do. I really need it. I also have another job. I work for Jamboree, which is a nail nail art design company. So we sell nail wraps. And my big motivation for that when I started in that sort of industry, which is network marketing, big motivation for that was because I wanted to be able to, because I was suffering a lot with my pain then, I wanted to be able to have a business of my own that I could do as and when I wanted to and work it around my pain. But over the past, I don't know, year or two, that hasn't been the biggest motivation, for it, because my pain hasn't been as bad. I have had some bouts of pain, I need to sit up. I have had some bouts of pain which have been really awful, which resulted in a couple of operations. I had a couple of laparoscopies. The last one was fine, really good actually, stay in my hair. It was fine. I didn't have to have too much done, and in fact they couldn't find any active endometriosis, which was amazing. So having this period at the moment, it's just like been an absolute bolt out of the blue. So anyway, the point of my video was to say that I thought that sorry, brain fog. I thought that my self-employment with the business that I run would be perfect to work around my conditions, and it's true, it is. But I've also proven to myself that I can work and be employed, which is fantastic, because I actually really love what I do with my employment, and I love my employers. And that's not just me sucking up, I really do enjoy it. But just to be kind to yourself as well, and know your limits, and don't do too much, because it will just get worse. You need to rest and you need to look after yourself, and I guess I'm making this video to tell myself that. To remind myself of that. Yeah, that's it. Just, I don't know, look how grey I've gone. So if you've got these conditions, then I'm gonna plug working for yourself, because it gives you, because if you're successful in having your own business, rather than just doing it as a hobby, if you're successful and make it a business, then you can really live and earn really good money off of an industry like network marketing. And if you are struggling as an employee, then I'm always encouraging people to talk directly with their, HR department or your manager or whatever, and just like make sure they understand your situation, and maybe get some information together to educate them about what these conditions are and how they affect us. Tough old life being a woman, isn't it? Anyway, thanks for listening to me ramble. Love to all.